Hello, hello, hello! It is time for the Backlist Readathon! And I'm very, very excited about this readathon. Tonight is Sunday night. It's about like 11 o'clock at night right now. So we have a little bit less than an hour for me until the Backlist Readathon begins. And I'm so happy to be co-hosting this readathon with 5 other amazing booktubers. We've got Jacqueline, Zoe, Chandler, Melanie, and Emily. And it's just gonna be a great week. It's gonna be a great time. Hopefully I can get a lot of reading in this week. I will say I am currently reading The Good Daughter by Karen Slaughter. I'm actually about like 200 pages into it because I wanted to start this book before the readathon actually began because this book is like 500 pages. I will say so far I'm kind of like struggling with this book because it is very, very dark, and like I knew it was gonna be dark because Karen Slaughter books are just dark. Like they just are. Like Pretty Girls is one of the darkest books that I've ever read, and it's like it's not for the faint of heart. It's very gruesome in its descriptions and detail, and it's just very graphic and gory, and it's a little bit much for me sometimes, like I'm not gonna lie. And I do feel like the prologue of this book was the best part of this book so far, and ever since the prologue I just feel like this book has been really, really dragging. Like I'm actually starting to feel a little bit slumpy because of this, unfortunately, and I feel like it's making us reread that really graphic scene at the beginning of the book. It's making us reread it from another point of view right now, and I'm just like, oh my god, it's just so much. I'm not somebody that can read graphic violence and like not even bat an eye. Like it's really hard for me to read about such graphic violence. Like it genuinely like disturbs my stomach and kind of makes me nauseous to read about. So I don't know if I'm gonna pick this book up immediately right now, even though I am 200 pages into it. Like I might give myself some time to get through this week. Like I don't know, I'm not in any rush to finish this, but what's nice about it is that I do have the audiobook as well, so I've been kind of like going back and forth between the audiobook and the physical book. But I do have this other stack of books that I would like to get to this week, maybe. Like I don't know, this stack has been kind of changing. I've just been like picking books off of my shelves that are backlist titles that sound the most interesting to me. The Good Daughter was published in 2017, so this definitely counts as a backlist read. But then these are all some books that have been published in the last couple of years that I would really like to get to this week if possible. Like I don't know which ones I'm going to prioritize, but I think tonight I would like to either pick up Before We Met or maybe The Loneliest Girl in the Universe. Like I don't really know what I'm in the mood for right now, so I might just start both and see what I'm in the mood for. But I do have tomorrow off of work, Monday. I mean, I do have a phone call in the morning that's like a conference call meeting that I have to do at 9 a.m. But other than that, I don't really have a whole lot going on tomorrow, so I think I can power through a really short book for the entire day tomorrow. So I think I'm gonna start something tonight. Yeah, I'm just so excited. I'm also excited because I painted my nails a new color today. They're this like kind of tealish greenish blue color. I don't know, I'm really excited about it. I got a new nail polish today at the store. I'm just very excited about it. I love having new nail colors that I haven't tried before. It's just so fun. I'm gonna jump into one of these books maybe, and I will update you tomorrow when I have read something. Good morning. It's kind of afternoon now, not gonna lie, on the first day of the Backlist Readathon. And that's the thing I kind of hate about when I have to do meetings like early in the morning on the phone, because then after the meeting I usually fall back asleep again, and then it messes up my sleep schedule, and then I don't wake up until like 11:30. Now it's already 12:30, and so I'm gonna go and pick up an acai bowl because I want to start my day off healthy. Last night I didn't really read anything. I actually tried to read the first chapter of Before We Met, and then I tried to read the first chapter of Hold Still, and then I actually did finish the chapter of The Good Daughter that I was on, because the chapters in The Good Daughter are so long. They're like 20 to 30 pages, so I was kind of like in the middle of a chapter when I left off because it was getting too graphic for me. But I actually did end up finishing that chapter last night, so now I'm on chapter 7. So now I might listen to the audiobook this morning while I'm just driving around. And I think today the plan is that I want to start the book Before We Were Yours, because that one has been on my TBR for like ever, and it's actually the last book I need to read before I can do my 5-star predictions reaction video. So like it's been a long time coming. Like I made that video last May, so like I really do need to read that book, and I do have a feeling I'm gonna love it. So I think that's the plan for today, is to like binge read that book today. So I'm gonna go get my acai bowl, and then I'm gonna come back and read. just barely started Before We Were Yours. I'm only on page 24, but I didn't realize that this book is following this young woman who is a lawyer, and she's taking after her father, who is also a lawyer. And I feel like that might be a little bit confusing because in The Good Daughter, we're also following this girl, Charlie, who's a lawyer, who's taking after her father, Rusty, who's a lawyer. Didn't realize that the two books I'm trying to currently read would be so similar. So hopefully I don't get them like mixed up in my brain, because I usually, when I'm reading two books at once, I like them to be different genres, which is why I was happy that this one is a historical fiction and The Good Daughter is a thriller. But now the main characters have like the same exact job and family situation, but it's fine. Everything's fine. I'm just gonna push through and continue to read it. I'm gonna take a quick little coffee break and make some coffee. Hello, it is nearly 4 o'clock in the afternoon now, and I just got 100 pages into Before We Were Yours, and I am just really not feeling this book. I don't know why. I feel like I've been struggling to get through these first 100 pages so much, and I'm just not invested in the story whatsoever, and I just don't really care. And I don't want to put myself in a reading slump on like the first day of this readathon, so I think I'm just gonna like set this book aside for now. And like, I don't know if this is gonna be something I'm gonna end up enjoying, because in this book we're following like two different timelines. One of the timelines takes place in 1939, and then the other one is in present day. And in the present day chapters, we're following this girl who's this lawyer who's like taking after her dad, and she comes from this like really privileged family, and she's trying to find the truth about what happened to these kids back in 1939. And then the alternate timeline, we do get to see what's happening to these 4 kids in 1939. And I feel like the 1939 chapters are just so hard to read about because the language style is just very, very old, and it's like, it's not something that I typically read, I guess. Like, it's kind of reminding me of like the required reading that I used to have to do in like school and stuff. Like, I don't know, it's like when they spell get like G-I-T, and like all the spelling is like different, and you can like hear their accents when they're speaking to each other. It's just like, it feels very like old to me, because I know it obviously it takes place in 1939, but I guess I'm just really not in the mood for something like this right now, and I'm just not very interested in the story, like, or where it's going, or like what. I think I'm just gonna set it aside for now. Don't know if I'm gonna pick that one back up this week, but I just want to, like, I don't want to waste the entire first day reading something that I'm not really enjoying. So I think I'm just gonna try to find one of the other books on my TBR and try to jump into that, because it's already 4 o'clock, which is like crazy. Like, the day has just flown by. It has been some hours. It is 6:30 at night now, and I still haven't really read a ton, to be honest. I did jump back into The Good Daughter because, you know, even though this book is a lot, apparently it's the only thing that's interesting to me right now. So I did jump back into The Good Daughter, and I'm on page 268 now. So I read about like 60 pages of this, but I'm just feeling so like annoyed at myself today, because I'm annoyed at myself for waking up later than I intended to, but I know it's because of the meeting and I fell back asleep after the meeting. And then I'm annoyed at myself for like reading so much today but not feeling like I accomplished anything, because like I read 100 pages of Before We Were Yours, but I'm probably not going to finish that book because I just don't really care. This book, I just have like a love-hate relationship with this book, because I do love it in the sense that I love that it's a story about sisters, and I love that it's like kind of dark and gritty, and it does remind me a lot of Pretty Girls in that way. But also I feel like the chapters in this book are way too long. I'm just like dragging through them. They're like 30 pages. It's such a pet peeve of mine for a book to have such long chapters. And I do feel like these chapters could have been cut down, because there's so much description about things that just don't really matter. And if you didn't know what this book is even about, it's kind of about these two sisters, Charlie and Sam. And the book opens on this scene when they were younger girls, when these two guys showed up on their front porch and like murdered the shit out of their mom, and then also traumatized them in a way that I don't want to spoil for you. But it's really, really awful and like hard to read about, because it's absolutely disgusting and disturbing what these girls went through. And then we jump 28 years into the future, where we're following Charlie, who is a lawyer just like her dad. And then Charlie gets involved somehow in this school shooting that's also very hard to read about and very traumatizing, and the descriptions are just what's fascinating is that I think the two things are connected. Like these two guys, like what they did to these girls as kids is somehow related, I think, to this school shooting that's happening. So it is very dark subject matter. It is very, very hard to read about, and this isn't something that I would just go around recommending for the faint of heart. But it is still the only thing that I'm reading right now that's like still interesting to me, and I still want to read it and I still want to know how it ends. So I'm like about a little bit more than halfway through it now, so I do think that I'll be able to power through and just finish this book. Feeling a little bit better about myself now because I cleaned the whole apartment, I vacuumed and did dishes, I even like wiped down the counters, and just like everything is so clean. And then I lit a bunch of candles so it smells like amazing in here now. My mom is coming over in about like 30 minutes because we're gonna start making dinner, and she's gonna bring like this Alfredo dish from Costco that's super good, and we're gonna watch the Bachelor finale with my mom and my sister and her boyfriend tonight, so it's gonna be a fun time.
Yes.
Cheers! Bachelor night! Yeah!
Will you accept
Mom
this
put
rose?
roses everywhere. There's rose petals everywhere.
Will you accept this rose?
Oh yes. Oh my gosh, yum. Oh shit. It is a little bit later in the night now. It's 11:30 and we made some really great dinner. My mom brought that stuff from Costco. Like, oh my god, it was so good. And we ended up watching The Bachelor, which like that show just continues to be frustrating for one reason or another. I'm really upset that Madison ended up leaving, but I also respect her so much as a human. Peter's mom is annoying and manipulative, and you know, I'm kind of actually proud of Peter for the way that he like stood up for himself to his mom and his family. Like, I actually gained a little bit of respect for Peter in that moment, so that was something. I think I am gonna read a little bit more before bed, but this book is kind of a book that's hard to read right before bed, so I might only read for like 30 minutes or maybe an hour, and then I'm probably just gonna like watch YouTube or something before bed, because this book is hard to stomach. Hello, good morning. I just stopped by Starbucks on the way into work, and I'm very happy to say that last night I actually did read quite a bit of The Good Daughter. I got to page 355-ish or so, so I read almost like 100 pages just last night. And oh my god, the book is getting so much better. Yeah, but the book is getting so much better. It's like really, really interesting. There was like a really good plot twist. I'm just excited because now I feel like I'm actually like really invested, and I'm like excited to see where the story goes, and I actually like really want to finish it tonight, which is good because I only have about like 150 pages left. But yeah, also there's like major concern for today because in the county that I live in, all the schools are closing today. Like, all the public schools are closing because somebody there has flu-like symptoms, and they're not confirmed for coronavirus or anything yet, but it's just concerning because the state of Washington has kind of been a state for concern lately with the coronavirus, because Washington has had the most deaths out of all the states so far. So yeah, so we're expected to be like really slow at work since, you know, the coronavirus is around, and I'm kind of scared, especially since I was sick recently with the stomach flu. You know, I really just don't want to be sick again. Not about it. Hello, I just got home from work and it's about like 5 o'clock at night right now. I know it's crazy because it's so light out and the sun stays out until like 7 now, which is so weird. But I did manage to read a little bit more today. I didn't actually get a break or anything or like take time off at work to read, but I did listen to a good chunk of the audiobook on the way to work and on the way back. So now I'm at around page 382 or something. I don't know, I'm gonna have to check where I'm at exactly in the audiobook, but like the audiobook got me another like 30 pages deep, so that's good. So I only have about 130-ish pages left now, so I'm just gonna power through for now and finish it now. And yeah, I'm excited. I just got myself some little Girl Scout cookies. They're Samoas, and I just lit a candle, and I'm still on call night at work, so like I might get called into work until 6:30, so I'm just gonna like lay in bed and read until 6:30, and then we'll see. And then after that, we're probably gonna get Pizza Hut and watch the finale of The Bachelor later. It's gonna be lit. Cinnamon sticks. What do you think's gonna happen?
You just proposed to her,
Yeah.
which is stupid.
Yeah.
He doesn't feel that way about her.
Yeah. He's obviously still in love with
And he's like
Madison.
holding the ring, that preview. He's gonna ask for it back. And then be like, Madison, please. Ugh.
Oh my god, how awful.
This is terrible. And he asked for her, dad handed marriage.
I know. This
What
is
the
just
fuck?
so sad.
If
This
he
is
at
so
least,
sad.
if he at all knew he had feelings for Madison, why would you do that?
I know.
Should have been a goddamn man and been like, I can't propose to you. I love Madison.
I know, and then chased
fight
after
for
Madison. Yeah, what the fuck is wrong
Like
with him?
fucking Colton did.
I
Damn,
know.
Colton's more of a man than fucking Peter.
Who'd have thought?
Who would have thought?
Hello, it is about 11 o'clock now. To update you on some things, I did finish The Good Daughter, and I actually finished it right before we started The Bachelor. I finished it around like 7:30. I really enjoyed this book. I really loved the second half of this book. I feel like the beginning was definitely a rough start for me, and I do feel like it took a long time for me to get invested in the story. But once I did, I really became invested in the story of these two sisters and just what was going on with them. And there was some really good plot twists and like really great writing happening at the end of this book. So I did end up really enjoying it, and I do think I'm gonna end up giving it 4 out of 5 stars because I did love it so much. But because I was struggling with it so much in the beginning, I can't give it a full 5 stars, and just because this book was so hard for me to read at times. Like, I don't even know. I do think Pretty Girls is actually even darker than this book, but like they're close with how traumatizing it is to read about some of this stuff. Like, it's just not easy for me to read at all, and it really like makes me nauseous and like sick to my stomach reading these scenes and stuff. So Karen Slaughter's books are a lot, but they're really written very well, which is something that I really appreciate about her books. I don't know, I'm just happy to finally have completed a book for this Backlist Readathon. Yeah, and also we watched The Bachelor. What a freaking hot mess. Honestly, like, what a hot mess. I freaking knew that Peter wasn't gonna end up with Hannah Ann. Like, they just didn't have the chemistry, and of course he just had to like drag her along and break her heart. And like, oh my god, like Peter's mom, major yikes. Like, that was so awkward and ridiculous, and I feel so bad for Madison and for Peter, and like that was very uncalled for, and it honestly just made me appreciate my mom so much more because she would never. That's the night, and I might start reading something else tonight, but I don't know, we'll see. I'll talk to you tomorrow. Good morning. Day 3 of the Backlist Readathon, and it is about 11:40 in the morning right now. Last night, I was able to get 106 pages into The Loneliest Girl in the Universe, which I decided will be my next read because, I don't know, this one just looked like the least intimidating on my TBR, and it's one that I'm like really excited about because it takes place in space. So far, I'm really enjoying it, and I honestly forgot how easy it is to fly through young adult. I feel like, especially since I just read something that's so dense as The Good Daughter, because like The Good Daughter was like, oh my god, there were so many words and every word was like very important, and so you literally have to read every single word to get the full effect of the story, you know? But I feel like with young adult, it's so much easier to like skim read, if you know what I mean. The words are a lot bigger, and there's just like, I don't know, it's just so much easier to fly through this book. So I don't really have any doubt that I'll be able to finish this today. At least that's the plan, because it's only like exactly 300 pages, and so I only have about like 200 left. But I am really enjoying it. It's about this girl who is on this spaceship called the Infinity, and it's like blasting through space right now, and she is going to be the first human being to ever land on Earth 2, which is like her destination of where the spaceship is heading towards. But she knows that she's not going to be able to land there until she's in her 40s, and she's currently like 19, I think. But she's on this ship, and both of her parents were the astronauts on this ship, and both of her parents died, and so now she's like on her own since she was 11 years old. And then in the first like 20 pages we find out that NASA has launched another spaceship called the Eternity that's supposed to catch up with her spaceship, because they like released it years and years into the future, so the technology is a lot better. So the Eternity is supposed to catch up to her ship within a year, and then they're gonna like join ships and get to the planet Earth, or the new planet Earth, faster. And yeah, and then she's expected to arrive on the new planet by the time she's like 21 or 22, so it's like completely life-changing for her. She has like communications now with this guy that's on the Eternity ship, and so they've been like talking back and forth, and I think he's like her love interest for this book. But like, it's super cute so far. I really like the main character kind of reminds me of like Rapunzel, just because she's so like out of touch with like Earth and reality and what's going on in the world. But it's just really interesting, and I like the idea of talking about like how space can be so isolating and how you can be so disconnected from the rest of humanity, and it's just kind of like scary to think about. And I don't know, I really love stories that like take place in space that feel more like contemporary coming of age, like psychological books like this. So really enjoying this, hoping to finish it today. God, this morning was such a rough start. Like, can someone please tell me how to motivate yourself to do anything in the morning? I don't know why lately I feel like these last like 2 days that I've had off, I've told myself like, okay, when I wake up I'm gonna go to the gym and like start the day off right, and then I wake up and I just don't want to get out of bed for like an hour and a half. I don't know why, if I'm just like too tired lately, but I just like have no motivation to do anything in the morning, and it's been taking me so long to get out of bed. Just so mad at myself about it all the time though. This morning's been but I am going to make myself some breakfast before I start reading, and then I do kind of have stuff going on today. Like at 3 o'clock this afternoon, I'm gonna be doing the live show with Kayla on her YouTube channel for The Other People, our buddy read that we did. And it's gonna be her first live show for her Literally Dead book club thing that she's doing this year, and I'm like so excited about it, and I'm also like so nervous just because I don't know, like live shows always make me kind of nervous, and especially because it's with Kayla, who's like my favorite booktuber, and I haven't actually like talked to her like face to face yet, so it's gonna be pretty exciting. Wow, breakfast is made. And Rocky Road is the best Chobani flip, and if you disagree then you're just wrong. Seriously though, this one is so good, and it's like a new flavor that they just came out with. Oh my god, it's amazing. But anyways, while I'm eating breakfast, I'm gonna watch Jacqueline's Day 2, Backlist Readathon vlogs, and Melanie's, because they're both daily vlogging. Like, how amazing is that? It is about 12:30, and I'm going to jump back into The Loneliest Girl in the Universe. I'm just gonna lay in bed for a little bit and read. It's like 2:30 in the afternoon, and I just finished The Loneliest Girl in the Universe, and wow, I don't know what to think about this book. I was like kind of expecting it to be like a light and fluffy sci-fi coming of age story, and for the first like 150 pages or so it was that, but then it very drastically changed genres in the last like 150 pages. And those last 100 pages were very exciting and very crazy, and they were like a little bit over dramatic, like a little bit over the top, but like I was still here for it. So like, I don't know, I'm feeling like this one's gonna be like a 3-star, maybe a 3.5 star, but the main character kind of drove me nuts with how naive she was being a lot of the times, but at the same time, like I don't know if I can blame her for that, because she is only 16, which I didn't realize. Like I thought she was 19, but she's 16 and then she turned 17. This was interesting, and I still need to think about it a little bit more, but like, oh, this was just, it was not what I was expecting, so I appreciate that at least. But what a strange little book. now I'm getting ready to do the live show with Kayla in 30 minutes. And I just saw that she posted a little like live show thing on her YouTube, which is so cute. I haven't seen that thumbnail yet. Very excited for that. I feel like I need to brush up on the other people because it's been a couple weeks since I read it, so.
Or multiple special guests. And we'll read something together. We're chatting on Goodreads, we're chatting on Instagram. I made a Twitter, but I haven't posted on it, whoops. And yeah, and then we're gonna do a live show every month that's like, you know.
It is now about like 4:40 and I finished my live show with Kayla and it went really well. It was really fun, and just talking to her is like so much fun. And it was kind of funny because both of us kind of forgot so much of the book because it's been so long since either of us read it. And I feel like with thrillers, I just like, I don't know why I have trouble sometimes remembering all the specifics that happen at the end of the book, especially when I've read so many thrillers since I've read that book. But it was a really great time, and like Kayla is so much fun just to like hang out with and talk to, and I just like love her so much. And it was really cool to like finally be able to talk to her like kind of like face to face, you know, like in real time. Because like we've talked online like through messages and stuff like that, but I've never actually like talked to her like face to face. So it was really cool to be able to do that. And I really do hope that she asks me to be a co-host again in the future because I just had so much fun. And like there's something so much fun about like buddy reading thrillers because I just feel like there's so much to talk about, you know. So yeah, it was a really great time, and now I am getting ready to go on a walk with Rachel and Obed because it's like actually a really nice day out today and it's super sunny and it's like a little bit cold, which is why I still have a hoodie on, but like I haven't gone on a walk in so long and I just like want to get out and like exercise a little bit because I feel like kind of like blech, just being like cooped up in the apartment all day.
Like bubbles?
Then you'd run in a zigzag.
Just charge at it?
No, run in a zigzag away.
It's really nice out today. This is pretty.
What's that?
Shut the fuck up. Oh my god. It's a beautiful day.
This is a cool photo. Sit right here. No, come on. Sit right there with your feet up.
We've reached the end of the trail.
Bend down a little. Cool photo spot.
Your shadow.
Oh my god, dude, this is the worst news I've ever heard in my life. Tom Hanks has it.
Oh my god, no.
I'm gonna enjoy this.
No. What? Tom Hanks and his wife.
Dude, how old is Tom Hanks?
Like old.
Tom Hanks is the guy that wakes up at 4 in the morning with him.
No.
Tom Hanks is like...
He's Toy Story. Woody. Went out to dinner with Rachel and Obed earlier. We went to this place called Lilia's. That's like a Mexican restaurant that we really like. While we were there, we found out that Tom Hanks and his wife have coronavirus, which is just really sad and awful. And I don't know, I feel like the world kind of like exploded today with like coronavirus things, and it's just starting to get a little bit scary, you know, especially because I'm in Washington State, and I think there's been the most deaths in Washington State. I don't know, it just kind of makes me nervous. Not really like for me necessarily, but like for my parents and just, you know, people in my life. Like it just makes me nervous. This readathon is just making me feel like I'm in a slumpy mood for some reason, even though I have already finished 2 books. Like I just feel like I've been struggling constantly because I know it's such a lame problem, but I literally just want to read my new release books so badly that it's like kind of putting me in a slump that I'm not able to read those right now. Because this week we have 8 Perfect Murders by Peter Swanson that just came out that I'm like dying to read because it's Peter Swanson. And then we also have the sequel to the Bromance Book Club, the Undercover Bromance or whatever, that just came out this week too, that I'm like I also really want to read that book Una Out of Order that's like super popular on Instagram lately, and it's like a time travel-y book that just sounds so cool. And then I just have some other books here that like I would definitely be interested in reading these right now and giving these a shot, but again, they're 2020 titles, so I can't. And so yeah, I just feel like I'm struggling lately. I don't know, I'm just looking at all of my backlist books that I've selected off of my bookshelf for this readathon, and I'm just not really motivated to read any of them right now. This entire stack here sitting in my room, and these are all the ones that I was most interested in. You can ignore You Are Not Alone. It's not included in this, but that's just another book that I'm currently reading right now. But like out of all of these, like I'm just like not motivated to read any of them. And like I do want to read Her Royal Highness, but I was kind of like saving this book for another video that I wanted to do later this month. But maybe I'll just have to like look through some of my bookshelves and try to find something that's more backlist that still intrigues me. I don't know why I'm like having such a problem with this. Ooh, I just saw on my shelves maybe I'll read A Nearly Normal Family, because this one came out in June 2019. I'm just like really in the mood for a thriller right now for some reason. I've just been in a thriller mood the entire month of March, basically. I also do have Dirty Letters, which this one just came out in November 2019, so it's still a fairly new release, but this one sounds pretty interesting too, and I do like this author combo, so maybe I'll read this one. I don't know. I might read something of these and I will let you know in the morning if I have read anything. Hello, good morning. So last night I actually did read a little bit of Dirty Letters. I got to page 120 last night, which was unexpected, but I feel like this author duo, like Vi Keeland and Penelope Ward, their romance books just fly so fast for me because the writing is just so easy to get into. And I didn't really have any idea about what this book was about, like going into it. Sorry, I'm gonna start driving to work. I didn't really have any idea like what this book was going to be about going into it, and it's kind of like weird and confusing because these two characters, like it's about this girl and this guy who have been pen pals since they were like little kids, and he's British and she's like American, and it doesn't really explain like why or how they became pen pals, but they are. I don't know, it's okay so far. Like their letters, it's like kind of ridiculous how quickly their letters go from like I just want to get to know you again to like talking about having sex with each other already, and like I don't know, it's just a little bit cheesy in that way. And like these two characters are so like stalkery towards each other. It's like literally just ask each other these questions like, why do you have to go about it in a way that makes you seem like such a stalker, like for both of them? Because it's like they don't want to reveal anything too much about themselves in their letters, but it's like the way they go about trying to find information about each other anyways is like really stalker-like. So I don't know, both of these characters are kind of crazy. Yeah, so I'm bringing the book with me today in case I have a chance to read. I do work all day today, so we shall see. But they just announced this morning too that A Quiet Place 2, the movie, is getting delayed, and I'm like, ugh, because I was really wanting to see that next weekend. But I mean, I know it is for the better, like it's a good thing that they're doing it, but I'm still just like sad about it. Back home from another long day at work. It's about 11 o'clock at night right now. Today was a very slow day at work because the coronavirus is around in Washington, and I think people are starting to get freaked out, including me. And today Disneyland closed, so that's another update of the coronavirus and how it's just taking over the world very quickly. Still not really enjoying the book Dirty Letters, but I do think I'm gonna attempt to finish it tonight just because. But I feel like in this book it's just so cheesy and kind of ridiculous how they go from being like, hey, how are you? It's been like 8 years since I've seen you, and then they go immediately into like, have you ever had an orgasm? And just like, they're just so vulgar and forward with each other right away, and it just makes me so uncomfortable. And like literally now in their letters and in their conversations they talk about nothing but sex, and it's like, yeah, maybe I should have known that this was coming because it's called Dirty Letters, duh. But I don't know, I guess I just expected more because I usually do love this author duo, so like it's whatever, it's fine. But I might try to finish that tonight. I don't work tomorrow morning. Tonight's been a nice night. When I got home, I just took a shower, washed my hair, which was really nice, and then me and my sister made like a breakfast-y kind of dinner, which was really, really good. I love having breakfast any time of the day. It's just great. And my sister made these really, really good potatoes. They're like, they have like Johnny's seasoning and paprika and cheese on them. Like, oh my god, they're amazing. Rachel finally attempted to make a breakfast sandwich, like for realsies, with like a fried egg. Like, she's never done it before.
My egg.
Look at this egg. It's alive.
Isn't it cute? This thing doesn't get hot, so cool. This little silicone thing keeps my egg together.
Whoa, it's like not in focus at all. Come on, there we go. Wow.
See that gorgeousness right there?
So professional.
Look at those perfect fried eggs in there.
Yes.
We got 2 slices of American cheese and some perfectly grilled bacon that I remade.
Wow. How long did that sandwich take?
Not that long.
Not that long.
Kaiser roll.
Yeah.
That's how the New Yorkers do it.
Right? That's how the sandwich place does it that we go to.
So good. Look at that.
Super
Look at that
cute.
cheese. The trick was I nuked it right at the second in the microwave for 30 seconds just to get that American cheese to melt.
Wow.
I'm so excited right now.
amazing. I know.
I love breakfast sandwiches.
I know you've been probably wanting to do that for a long time. And it turned out super cute and she really loved it and it was really good. So I am planning on reading more of this tonight. We'll see how far I can get. Again, I don't work in the morning, so I don't really have any plans going really. I was gonna plan to go to the gym tomorrow morning, but like with all of this coronavirus shit going on, I'm like, no thanks. Good morning. It is Friday, day 5 of the Backlist Readathon. Last night, I did actually finish Dirty Letters. I will admit that I kind of skimmed the last like 100 pages or so because I just really wasn't enjoying the book and I just didn't really like care about either of the characters and like I just felt like it was way too much sexual stuff and not enough of like a genuine connection and relationship. So yeah, it's probably gonna be like a 2-star book for me. It was very forgettable and I don't know, it was fine. But that is the 3rd book that I've completed for this readathon, so woo! This morning, I'm about to go to Target right now, which I'm kind of like nervous about, you know, because of the whole like coronavirus thing, but I'm just like, okay, I just need to get some last minute grocery things and I just need to be smart about it, you know. I just need to keep my distance from other people and it'll be fine. At least that's what I'm telling myself. So yeah, I'm gonna go to Target this morning and then I do work later tonight. We made it. We survived.
She's back. I won't be needing them anymore. Drew acted confused. Even more so when the next thing she hurled at him.
Watching BookTube and Zoe just uploaded this super fun video of friends pick my TBR and predict 5-star reads and it's so cute and so fun and I love like reading challenge videos. They're like one of my favorites to watch. Hello, it's about 1:45 in the afternoon now and I have done a whole lot of nothing today so far. I just got my groceries from Target this morning and I didn't die, so that's good. I just ate some late breakfast and watched a lot of BookTube videos and I've just been like on Twitter all morning like looking up updates for the coronavirus because it feels like the world is just like exploding and Trump just had this like live thing going on, so I was watching some of that and like it's so frustrating to watch, so I stopped watching that and I think I'm going to jump into reading Pines by Blake Crouch because I do go to work in about a little bit less than 2 hours now, but I figured I would just try to jump into this and get as far as I can in it because this is one that I was hoping to read during this readathon, so I want to give it a go and hopefully I can finish it at some point this weekend if I'm enjoying it, so we shall see. I also put on the fireplace on my TV again because I don't know why I'm like so cold today. Like I'm just like bundled in freaking blankets and I'm like wrapped in these blankets because I'm just like so cold today for some reason. It actually is pretty cold outside today. Like it was supposed to snow today and then the weather keeps changing and saying it's not gonna snow, but still, like what the heck? Washington is so weird. February was actually a pretty warm month for us in Washington and now it's March and it's like freaking cold. Like today it's 39 degrees right now. It's pretty cold. just made some coffee to like warm my soul because I'm so cold today. And oh my gosh, I used one of the K-pods from Starbucks. That's like the cinnamon dulce K-pod thing. And then I also used the cinnamon dulce creamer from Starbucks. And like, dude, it literally tastes exactly like the cinnamon dulce latte from Starbucks. Oh my god, it's so freaking good. Coffee is like the perfect drink when you're cold. It's just the best. Oh my god. God, I've only read like 30 pages of Pines because I cannot freaking concentrate because there's just so much going on in the world and my brain is just like boo. Like, is anybody else having like major anxiety with all that's like going on in the world lately, or is it just me? I'm even like more stressed because like the owners of my company just like put out in like emergency phone call meeting at 4 o'clock this afternoon, and it's like 2:30 right now, and I'm like, what the heck is going on? So now like until I know what that meeting's about, I'm just even more stressed. So I'm just gonna get ready for work and take a shower and try to calm down and then go to work and just try to have a good rest of my day. 3 o'clock and I'm heading into work now. I'm going in a little bit early today just because I want to like talk to everyone about what's going on, and I'm just tired of sitting in my apartment. So so I will talk to you guys later. Hello, I am home from work. God, my freaking hands are like cracked and so dry and bloody from like washing my hands so much today. Like I just put hand sanitizer on them right after I washed my hands, and like, oh my god, it's burning. I literally wash my hands like literally every 2 minutes tonight, I swear. It's like super windy outside today. Like they just posted a wind advisory in Washington from starting at 6 o'clock tonight and then all the way till 2 p.m. tomorrow afternoon. There's a really high wind advisory, so that just adds to my stress and anxiety because I just hate the wind so much. Like I hate when you're driving and you can literally feel your car like moving because of the wind. Like, oh my god, it's the worst. And I just feel like I hate it so much because where we're living, you know, we live right in front of like a bunch of trees back here. So it's like when the wind is so high, the trees, like you can just hear them all night like moving. And I just have this really illogical fear that a freaking tree branch is gonna come down and like slam into my window or something. I mean, maybe it's not so illogical because like it could happen. But anyways, it wasn't as slow as I was expecting it to be tonight, but at least it kept my mind off of things. Yeah, I don't know. It's about 11 o'clock at night right now, so I might jump back into Pines by Blake Crouch, or this might just be one of those nights where I can't really concentrate on reading just because of everything going on. So I might just like lay down and watch YouTube and just try to like relax. Like I don't really know what tonight holds, but I do work again all day tomorrow. Then I don't work Sunday, but I'm on call, so I could potentially work Sunday. I would like to finish one more book though for this readathon, you know. I think 4 is a strong number and I would like to get there, so maybe I will try to read a little bit of this tonight. Good morning. It is Saturday morning and it's freaking 28 degrees outside right now. It's really freaking cold and it's really freaking windy. Oh my gosh. Last night I only read a little bit of this book. I got to page 84. But I feel like with this book, like the mystery is compelling enough, I guess, but like I'm just not really being grabbed by this book the way that I usually am by like Blake Crouch books. Like usually right away with his books, I'm like automatically hooked. But with this one, for some reason, I just don't really like care a whole lot about the main character, I guess, or I don't know. It doesn't have that something, you know? Like the mystery, I guess, is interesting enough because it's like a guy that's like lost his memory and you're trying to figure out why and all this, but I don't know, it's okay so far, but I'm probably gonna continue reading it. I brought it with me to work today because I work all day, and then maybe I can get a break and read some today. I don't know. It's really windy outside and it's scary, and I don't want to drive right now because like, ooh. I just made a quick little lunch while I'm at work. This is a small little Caesar salad. It's so super good. And then this is a mac and cheese that I like to make. That's kind of special. It's like not on our menu, but I like to put chipotle sauce and ranch in it, and then pork and bacon and cheese and mix it all together. Oh my god, it's so freaking good. So, woo! I also have the book here with me because I'm planning on reading some. Look at this sunset right now. Holy shit. That is beautiful. Hello, it is a little bit later in the night. I got to page 100 when I was reading on my break today in the office, and I don't know why, I just really can't get into this book right now. Like, I don't know what it is about the book, but the writing just feels so incredibly dull to me, and this main character is just so incredibly dull, and I just like can't get into this right now. And honestly, like, the idea of reading this right now is making me like not want to read. So to try and prevent myself from getting into a reading slump during this readathon, I think I'm gonna have to DNF this one for now, which I'm pretty sad about because I really thought Pines would be something that I would really like just because I've liked Blake Crouch's other books. It's so annoying to have to DNF another book in this readathon at 100 pages, but like, I don't know. Do you ever feel like maybe sometimes books end up on your backlist for a reason? Like maybe you just don't have as strong of a desire to read it as you originally thought you did. You put it off so long because maybe you saw some bad reviews, or like maybe, you know, like maybe there's a reason why books that were some books that I originally wanted to read, maybe there's like a reason why I gravitated away from them for a while, you know? I don't know. I did just grab 4 books off my shelf that are like some more backlist titles because I'm like sitting here looking at the ones that I picked for this readathon, like the ones that are like that I showed you the other night that are like sitting on my desk over here, and I'm just really not interested in reading any of those right now, if I'm being honest. Like there's just something about each one of those books that I'm just like, I just don't want to read it right now. So I picked off 4 other backlist titles that I had on some of my TBR shelves of like things that kind of sound interesting to me right now. And so maybe I will jump into one of these tonight and see. I think I'm leaning towards reading The Marriage Pact just because it's a thriller, and I'm just like really in the mood for a thriller. As I've said this whole week, I'm just like always in the mood for a thriller. But I also pulled down The Names They Gave Us by Emery Lord. This one's like a young adult contemporary, and it is kind of long, but the words are pretty big, so I feel like it would be pretty easy to fly through. But my only like thing that's making me hesitant about this one is that it involves religion, I think, somehow, and I'm just not like a huge fan of reading about religion, so like we'll see. And then I also pulled down The Mothers, which is this really short literary fiction, and this one would actually complete the challenge for reading a diverse contemporary or a diverse book. It follows contemporary Black America, so that would definitely complete the challenge for that, so maybe I'll try to read this. And then I also pulled down The Great Pretenders, which this is one that I've just actually been wanting to read for a really long time because it's like, it takes place in old Hollywood and it's like a historical fiction novel. I might pick up any one of these 4 tonight, like I don't really know. I think I'm gonna do something that's like super shallow and check on Goodreads what the average rating is for all 4 of these, and then kind of make my decision based off of that, because I don't know why, like on Goodreads, whenever a book has like lower than a 3.6 or even a 3.7 out of 5 on Goodreads, it kind of like makes my red flag go up, and I'm like, okay, it's probably not that great. Because like honestly, like I think almost every single book that I love out there has higher than a 3.7 on Goodreads, unless it has something controversial about it, like an ambiguous ending or something, you know? Yeah, see, this is exactly what I mean. Like The Marriage Pact only has a 3.62. The Great Pretenders also only has a 3.69, and it only has 300 ratings, so like barely anybody has read this book. Okay, The Mothers has a 3.84. It has over 43,000 ratings, so I mean, this one is the highest average rating so far. Oh wow, The Names They Gave Us has a 4.12 with 6,000 ratings, so that is definitely the highest rated. Oh no, Chelsea only gave it 3 stars. I just read the first chapter of all 4 of those books, and I am not interested in continuing with any of them. Like, I don't know if I'm just really just not in a reading mood tonight, or if something's like wrong with me. I don't know. I feel like I'm also just having trouble focusing with like knowing everything that's going on in the world, you know? I feel like I just need to constantly be checking my phone for the news and stuff. So like maybe it's just not a good reading time for me lately. Like, I don't know. Or maybe I'm just completely uninterested in all these books that I'm picking up. Like, I don't know. But I'm gonna go to bed and I'll see you tomorrow. Good morning. It is Sunday morning and it is the final day of the Backlist Readathon. I don't really know if I'm gonna be reading anything today, to be honest. I have a bunch of different plans and things that I want to be doing today because I have the day off of work. I know for sure I need to be filming 2 to maybe 3 YouTube videos today, but this morning I do have to make another quick Target run, which I'm like, pissed at myself for. But like last time that I went to Target earlier this week, I wanted that to be like my only grocery store run for a while, but then I wasn't able to fit everything. Like I only took like the hand holding little cart thing, and I wasn't able to fit everything that I needed into that little thing. And so I was like, okay, I'm gonna have to go back. But like hopefully my Target actually has like groceries and shit today. Like I don't really know what to expect right now, but I feel like honestly like this whole thing is getting like worse and worse every day, and it's like it's getting more and more dangerous to be like out in public. And it just sucks because, you know, I work in a restaurant and we have customer service. Like we're getting exposed to hundreds of people every single day, and it just doesn't feel very safe. It's like, I know some people are like saying like you're overreacting and like the media is making it a bigger deal than it is, but like not really, because Italy was at the exact same place as we are now 2 weeks ago, and like look at Italy now. Like we need to learn from their mistakes, like, and self-isolate ourselves now before it's too late. And I was even reading this article on the New York Times last night that was saying like there's going to be an estimated 400 deaths in Seattle in these next coming weeks if the government doesn't do anything about it. And like by doing something about it, they would be closing all the non-essential places like restaurants and bars and clubs and public places that aren't necessary, like grocery stores or something, you know? But like nothing's been done yet, and it's just like so scary because Washington has the most coronavirus cases that are confirmed and deaths by far of any other state, and it's just like terrifying. And it's like, as I've said like earlier in this vlog, like I'm not even scared of this shit for me, okay? I'm scared of this shit for like my parents and for other people, and I just don't want to see this spreading like it is. I don't know. I just feel like things are gonna get worse before they're gonna get better, and that's really scary. I'm sorry so much of this vlog is about the coronavirus and like my anxiety over it, but it's like such a reality right now, and it's impossible not to talk about it. So, but anyways, I'm gonna go to the grocery store. And I wore this sweater because I can zip it up and kind of cover my face if I need to. I just got out of Target, and thankfully they had everything that I needed. And luckily it wasn't even that crowded, which is good because it means that people aren't going out unless absolutely necessary. And so I'm feeling so much better now that I got everything that I needed. Because I was like low-key running so low on soap, like hand soap in my bathroom, and I was like, oh my god. I don't know why I didn't notice it until today. And the hand soap aisles are almost completely cleared out, but luckily I was able to get my Love Beauty and Planet one that I usually always get because it smells so good. But like, I'm gonna go home for the rest of the day until I have to work again on Tuesday.
This jigsaw puzzle makes sense. Donovan's team is made up of men and women who spend their professional.
Gosh, there's been so many booktube videos uploaded today that this is just wonderful. Like I have so much content to watch. I think I'm gonna start with Chandler's while I make some food.
I told myself we wouldn't be doing this again, and yet here I am.
Yum yum. Finished my breakfast and a Chobani flip. And I'm still watching Chandler. I just filmed 2 YouTube videos, and while I was filming, my Amazon packages have arrived. So I thought it'd be fun to open them with you on camera. Sorry, I'm like out of breath. I just went up 4 flights of stairs. Oh my gosh. Undercover bromance. Holy shit. I'm so excited to read this. Holy crap. I've got 8 Perfect Murders by Peter Swanson. Finally. And then I also got Anyone by Charles Soule. Ooh, this one's cool. It doesn't have like a dust jacket. It's just a hardcover. That is cool. That is a surprise that I did not see coming. This is cool. It just has like it's just on paper. Wow, interesting. I don't think I've ever seen any books that are hardcover that are this pretty like this with no dust jacket. Huh, crazy times. Wow, dude, 8 Perfect Murders is so short. Ugh, it has deckled edges, why? But very excited for this. It is only like 250 pages. Oh my gosh, it's a good thing that these all came on the last day of the Backlist Readathon, because if these had come any sooner, like I might have just read these immediately, even though they're 2020 titles during this readathon. I would not have been able to control myself. It's like 4 o'clock in the afternoon now. I am catching up on some emails and I have to start editing these videos that I want to go up soon. And yeah, I don't know, I'm probably gonna start reading like later this afternoon, hopefully. So I just went live on Instagram instead of reading. It's almost 6 o'clock at night now, but I had such a fun time on Instagram being live, and a lot of people tuned in and it was really fun. I don't know what I'm gonna do. I just posted my video though to YouTube reacting to 5-star books. So it is about 6:30 now and I just took a quick shower and I'm planning on jumping into Her Royal Highness because this one is a backlist read. I'm pretty sure this one came out in 2019, but I am planning on reading this one for a different video, but I figured since this readathon is nearly over, I might as well get a head start on it, especially since it is a backlist and it looks pretty short, so it looks like I'll be able to get through it pretty easily, hopefully. So I'm gonna start this, and I'm also gonna put on a face mask because it's been a while since I've used a face mask and my skin is feeling very dry because of washing myself and my body and my face so much lately. I got 50 pages into Her Royal Highness and like it's cute so far. It's fine. It reads very much like a young adult, which, you know, I was expecting. So yeah, but it's fine. I'm gonna continue to read this a little bit later on tonight, and for now my sister just texted me that she's on the way home, so I'm gonna start making dinner now. What just happened?
I don't know.
I know, but what just happened?
They said that they might close all restaurants, bars, anything over 50 people.
OMG.
And it might be just drive-through.
Holy shit.
So basically Washington is getting their shit together.
Basically, yeah.
That's basically what's going down.
You know, look at this shit. Yeah, coronavirus. Governor issues statement on statewide shutdown of restaurants, bars, expands ban on larger gatherings. So our restaurants are going to be drive-through only, and we're having another meeting about this in 15 minutes. With the owners. Holy shit, it's happening. Yeah. Little baby. Oh, I miss her. Phoenix. Holy crap. The governor has decided to close dining in experiences in restaurants right now, and they closed bars, and they're banning anything that involves over 50 people. And so like something is happening, at least I feel like. I mean, it does suck because restaurants will still be open for takeout orders, but I feel like with this being a thing, I think it'll make a lot more people realize like how dangerous it is to be outside right now and outside of your houses. I definitely appreciate that the state is taking it seriously because it is very serious here right now. I'm just glad that at least something is happening. Like, it's not like the best thing in the world, but at least it's something. So I'm very grateful for that, and it definitely relieves some of my stress with going to work every day because at least we won't have to interact with as many customers on a daily basis, hopefully. But yeah, anyways, it's late Sunday night, it's 11:30, and it is pretty much the end of this readathon. I'm not gonna lie to you and say I've had a perfect week. It has been a very real struggle bus for me this week. Not only with like, you know, the coronavirus and feeling like the world is coming to an end or something, but mentally not a great week for me. You know, it's just like a lot of high anxiety right now and just a lot of things up in the air. And it's just really scary not knowing if you're like carrying symptoms for coronavirus because like you don't start showing symptoms for 5 days. So like you just don't know. It's a whole lot of scariness in the world right now. And not only that, but despite me reading quite a bit this week, it was just not a great reading week for me. I feel like, I don't know why, I've just been so distracted by my new releases, and I've just been wanting to read my new releases so badly. So it's like, it's not even that I haven't been in a reading mood, because I am in a reading mood. I'm just not interested in reading any of my backlist books right now. It's just really annoying. But to conclude for this readathon, I did read 100 pages of Pines and Before We Were Yours, and I decided to DNF both of them because I could not get into them for the actual life of me without putting myself into a reading slump. And then I did complete 3 books this week. I read The Good Daughter by Karen Slaughter, which is by far the best thing that I read this week. And this book was really good, but it's definitely a slow burn, and it's not something I would recommend for everyone because of how graphically dark it is. It got to be a little bit too much for me at times, and I don't think this was the best book for me to read this week with everything else that's going on. And I also read The Loneliest Girl in the Universe and Dirty Letters. Dirty Letters was very meh, forgettable for me, but this book was really interesting, and I don't know, I've been thinking about it a lot since I read it. So I'm also currently 50 pages into Her Royal Highness, but I'm also going to be reading this for another video, so you'll hear more of my thoughts on this book very soon in future videos. Please let me know how many books you were able to read for the Backlist Readathon. What was the best book you were able to read? What was the worst book you read? And was this a great reading week for you, or like have you also found it kind of difficult to focus on reading books when there's like so much going on in the world? Like, I don't know, for me personally, I was just having a really hard time focusing on anything that I was reading this week. As always, thank you guys so much for watching these vlogs. I'm sorry this vlog is like nearly an hour or over an hour long by now, but I really do appreciate you guys watching and commenting and responding with me and hanging out with me. I just really appreciate it, and it means a lot to me. And thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys very soon with a new video.